When it comes to my anticipation for House of the Dragon, it was pretty low, but once we got to a couple hours before the airtime, I was getting a bit excited for it. Seeing the dragon fly over King's Landing and hearing that beautiful music really reminded me how much I miss Game of Thrones. Well, the scenes of Game of Thrones, which are good anyway.
While Dany kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces.
And I thought this pilot episode overall did enough for me to be interested to see more. As it showed at the start of the episode, this is set 172 years before the birth of Daenerys Targaryen. So in terms of Targaryens here, we have King Viserys, who's played by Paddy Considine, and I thought it was decent, but nothing amazing at the moment, but we might see more of that in the coming episodes. We have Matt Smith, who plays Daemon Targaryen, so yes, we do have Matt playing Daemon.
Matt Damon.
And at the moment, as he's such a recognised actor, I'm still seeing him as Matt Smith, but I think that will probably eventually go because I think he's a good actor and I think the role here is something he can really get his teeth into. We also have King Viserys' daughter, Rhaenyra, who's played by Millie Alcock, for now anyway. And for me, she was definitely a standout character from this first episode, and it'll definitely be interesting to see how she develops over time, to see how different she is from Daenerys, because at the start you're thinking, oh, this is like a Daenerys wannabe here. Obviously, this first episode is going to get comparisons with the first episode of Game of Thrones, and I think that Game of Thrones episode is still better than this by quite a long distance, but what this one does is it sets the pieces in play pretty well. Unlike that first Game of Thrones episode, we're not going all over Westeros, we're not introducing any supernatural elements here, we haven't really got much of those comedy moments with like a Tyrion character, for example, and we haven't had any incest yet.
Hello.
But what it has done is started that story of the Game of Thrones within House of the Dragon. We're seeing all the different people here who are eyeing up that throne. And when I look back on Game of Thrones, I always enjoyed that political side of the story, the backstabbing, all that sort of thing. So if they're getting into that straight away, that's always good if they can obviously pull it off as well as Game of Thrones did. And of course, what makes it stand out is that we have plenty of dragons, plenty of sex, plenty of violence, and even a birth scene, which I thought was really difficult to watch, but really well executed. So at this moment in time, with only one episode aired so far, I think it's done enough for me to be intrigued for further episodes. I think this could be a bit of a slow burn from my first sort of reaction to the show, but I think what this show really needs is a spark just to keep it going. Hopefully we'll get that maybe in the next few episodes, because right now, unlike Game of Thrones, it hasn't got that. It's missing a few key components, I think. But what are your thoughts on the first episode of House of the Dragon? Let me know in the comments down below. And on screen now is a video we did for the Indian film RRR, and all our thoughts on that one.